Well, today we're going to talk about Dragon Gate's latest event, Kobe Wrestling Festival, and of course, the return of Major League Wrestling, or as known as MLW. So, all of that will be reviewed on Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome, everybody, to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things pro wrestling from AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, many promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I'm your host, J Rod here. Now, the first thing we're going to review is Dragon Gate's latest event called Kobe Wrestling Festival. This was a 4 hour show because there's been a lot of things that took place, grudge matches and championship matches. So, let's start from start to finish. We had the Open the Brave Gate Championship, which is a rematch between Kaito Ishida, who was the previous champion, losing, who was facing off the current champion, um, Kasuke Okuda. Now, if you guys don't recall, Ishida did not tap out or anything. So basically, he challenged this match knowing that he did not tap out the last time he faced Okuda. But however, the match was granted, and this time he actually did tap out. So basically, there's no whining. RED did not were successful to obtaining the Open the Brave Gate Championship, but we'll see how that goes a long run. Next match is a 9-man battle royal. So here are the participants in the order they came in. We had Kono Mama Ichikawa, Gamma, Shashukoko Boy, Super Sashi, Hoho Loon, Jimmy, Mondarai, Hio, and Diamante. So these are 9 participants. So there's only 2 ways, well, 3 ways to win them to eliminate someone in the battle royal, either over the top, pinfall, or submission. So it was a very unique match. Now you can say this, that's kind of really different. But however, they never said it was over the top. It's completely different. But let's go who actually how they eliminated. First is Kono Mama Ichikawa. Then it was Ho Ho Loon. Then Diamante, Jimmy, Super Sisha, Gamma, Shashikoko Boy, and then finally Mundai Ru. Now, however, because of this match, it's also one of those matches where you call your shot. So Hyon, who is a member of RED, he decided not to reveal what his shot is. As you know, RED has been one of the most dominant, stable factions or villainous factions in Dragon Gate. So basically, this is one of those times it's going to be like, okay, what are they planning? All we got to do is wait and see in the upcoming events. Next match is a tag team match with the class of 2020, Takedo Kamea and Madoka Kikuta versus Team Boku, Boku R Shisumu, and Rai Sato. Now, as you know, the class of 2020 are still trying to prove that they belong in this, even though there was 4 students. One is out because of an injury, and the other, well, he made his choice to join RED, and that's Kenta Konube, who goes now by SBK. But I have to say, this match did show a lot of prominence with the class of 2020. I don't know if any of the other factions of the Generational War will pick them up. We'll just wait and see. But this match was good, and class of 2020 actually won this match. Next match, it was supposed to be more of a interesting match. Ultimo Dragon was supposed to be in this match, but he actually was unable. It was an 8-man tag. It had let's see, they had Toto Yahushi, who's in fact from Michinoku. No, no, he's from Pro Wrestling Zero, but he came out due to the fact he's one of Toromon's students back in the day. He had a different name. But for Toromon, they had Knes, Susumu Yoshikoshi, and um, Yashuri Kanda. So basically, these are the guys from Toromon. Now, there's the ones who were in their 50s. Uh, since Ultimo Dragon was not able to be in this particular match, he was replaced by Toromon student of the generational, Genki Horiguchi. So he took his spot. So they had Don Fuji, Masaki Mochizuku, and Taru. Now, Taru is the interesting character where he hasn't stepped foot in a Dragon Gate since it changed the direction. He was there when Toromon was founded, but when Dragon Gate changed, he left with huge problems. He said ill fit a word. He's been mostly freelancing, going to All Japan or Pro Wrestling Zero. But this time he actually came here and allowed his team to win. He picked up the victory on this one. But however, I don't know if he wants a match with Ultimo Dragon because he wasn't there. And because he was there, he had health issues. So we just have to wait and see. We're not sure if Taru is determined to return. So that is one of those open the air questions that happen. So if you guys ever seen this, you can see it. Now this one is a grudge match. We had Dragon Die versus Die Inferno. Now these two guys, Die Inferno made his appearance in attacking Dragon Die for no apparent reason, and it became a full blown grudge match between these two. But however, the match ended in a disqualification where Die Inferno was removing the mask. Now, unlike the rules here in the US, it's perfectly legal to rip off a mask unless you're playing traditional lucha libre rules. If you're doing that in Mexico, you cannot. If you remove a mask, you may be disqualified. So basically, that's how the rule is. And I don't know if this rivalry between Dragon Die and the Inferno will continue. We just gotta wait and see with more. Now, the next match we have Masat. Well, not next match. This one has already been announced. As you don't know yet, Masato Yoshino was supposed to retire this year when he made that announcement late last year due to a previous injury that he obtained on his neck. Now, he was supposed to retire this year, but due to the pandemic's, causing this turmoil, they postponed it. But now it's official that the tour for Masato Yoshino is begun and it will end on August 1st of 2021. It's going to be sad, but however, the first time I saw um, Masato, he was amazing. He's a very fast, capable. His nickname is called Speed Star. So I'm excited to see where they're going to go with this. Now, we had a regular match between a 6-man tag. We have members from Dragon Gate Generation. We have Punch Tominaga, Strong Machine J, and KZ versus members from Torimon, Doshi, which is Masato Yoshino and Norika Doi, bringing an outsider, Toru Owashi. I don't know who he is, but the match was great. I liked how Masato hasn't missed a step, even though this is just the beginning of his farewell tour, saying this is his retirement tour. So I'm excited, and he picked up the victory with his infamous finisher move, which I enjoy. I forgot what to call it, but I'll look into that. Sorry. The next match is for the vacant Open the Twin Gate Championship. Now, the previous champions were members from Dragon Gate Generation, um, Kota Minoura and Jason Lee. But Jason Lee obtained an injury that's going to put him out for months. But however, they decided to go ahead and continue to have this title match, but vacant, but whoever's going to win. So it became Kota Minoura teaming with the leader of Dragon Gate Generation, um, Yamato, versus RED members BB Hulk and Kai. If you guys don't know this, Yamato has a beef with these two guys from the very start. Ever since BB Hulk betrayed um, Yamato during late last year, and of course Kai betrayed him not too long ago at Dragon Gates. At Dangerous Gate, their latest cage match pay-per-view. But the match was too much to bear, even though it seems like Generation Dragon Gate Generation were able to win, but however, it's still not enough. RED were able to pick up the victory and took the titles are now in their possession, so the Twin Gates are now RED's property. But however, when the match was over, BB Hulk and Kai attacked Yamato and Kota Minoura until they were saved by KZ, who had enough of these guys one way or the other. So he decided to put himself on the spot for the Twin Gates Championship, teaming with Yamato. So this is one of those moments where he feels it's time to teach these punks a lesson. So it still is going to happen. Probably the next event, the big event that's going to take place later on in this month of November. So I'll pay attention to that. Now the next match is for the Open the Triangle Championship. Now here's the interesting part. It was it's a triple threat type of match. Now let me pause right here so you guys can understand. In this particular match, if there's three teams, one person there has to have three of each team to step in. However, they don't officially need to make a tag when they roll out. The next one can step in if they want to. So basically, is the rule. But however, if one team is eliminated, then they have to go with two teams. So it's kind of a complicated system how they do, which is good because it makes it unique for their promotion. So basically, three teams, 9 people three teams, 3 versus 3 versus 3. One each will start in the match in a triangle. Now, here's the participants for this. First, it was Dragon Generation, Yusuke Santamaria, UT, and Ben K versus Torimon members Kagetora, Dragon Kid, and Masato Yoshino wrestling for the second time, facing the current champions RED, SB Kento, Yoshida, and Kazuma Sakamoto. The match was pretty interesting as they were able to eliminate Dragon Generational, but however, Masato had everything under his control. However, SB Kento got away with it by putting powder in his eyes and putting him in a sharpshooter, making themselves thinking that they're the most unstoppable force. They will do whatever it takes to win by cheating as they always have. So the real question is, who will strip these guys from their who will beat them or dethrone them for these titles of the Open Triangle? Well, we'll just wait and see who could do it in this generational war. Now the main event. This is for the Dream Gate Championship between the return of Shun Skywalker, who's been gone to Mexico late last year and came back not too long ago, making himself to be the next challenger for Eita, who's the current champion. Now, here's the interesting part that you should know about the match. This was one of the best matches I've seen so far out of Shun Skywalker. He seems like the kind of guy who's determined to succeed. But however, the backstory on him, so you can understand, Shun Skywalker last year was part of Mochizuki's dojo, which is Masai's faction. But when they were unable to succeed, Shun Skywalker made the decision to throw himself out of the faction, even though Masaki said that there's no re-entry, and he understands. So he wanted to follow his own path. He teamed up with Ben K when Ben K won the title. He's trying desperately to get to the top, but he was still no going nowhere. It was driving him crazy. He just left to Mexico without speaking to anybody. And because of that, he came back. This time to prove how strong he has developed, how much he's changed, the whole 9 yards. But this match proved something about Shun Skywalker. He did not have any backup with him. No one was right there to back him up because Eita had his faction, RED, right there. They were beating him, they were taking him out, trying to do whatever it takes. But all of that did not work. No matter what they did, it was not enough. Shun Skywalker was able to beat Eita and become the Open the Dream Gate champion. RED were in disbelief that all of their brutality against them was all for nothing. And Shun Skywalker has proven how strong he has become. Since he left to Mexico and back, he is now determined. But however, it appears old familiar face has come back to him, and his old teammate Ben K. But since you guys should know, I don't speak or understand Japanese. But the sound of the voice Ben K, it appears that he decided to make himself the upcoming challenger. So Shun Skywalker gladly accepted the challenge. So hope you guys ever get to see this event. You can go on the Dragon Gate Network and subscribe. It's like almost $15. I don't know how much that is in yen. But yes, it's right there. You can see it. It's already there. I've been following it for a while. But we'll talk more on the upcoming Dragon Gates. If there is one, I'll let you guys know. So right now, let's move on to MLW's Fusion, the restart, baby. Okay, so let's talk about finally the return of MLW. I haven't seen these guys in months. They haven't broadcast new stuff since March. And their latest events took place in Tijuana, Mexico for the Super series that they did with AAA in Tijuana. But it's great that they're back. It was an hour show, but it could this part of the segment will be a lot shorter. Now, first match of the night, it was for the MLW National Openweight Championship, which is the current champion Alex Hammerstone beating Jason Duggan like that. So it was a squash match. Now, however, when the match was over, he picked up the mic and he decided to call out Jacob Fatu, who is the current MLW World Heavyweight Champion. Now, he does seem like he's capable of becoming the champion that deserves, so he probably wants to be the next challenger. But however, Fatu has to get through Davey Boy Smith Jr., who has been already, we've been seeing that he wants to be the challenger. Now, however, they showed a little video package between the rivalry of Myron Reed and Brian Pillman Jr. Now, Myron Reed criticized Brian Pillman on many levels. One, he's not in the same weight class, and two, he feels that him is given everything because of a name. If you guys know who Brian Pillman Jr. is, then you know who his father is. But he wants a bigger challenge. But this time, it showed a lot of character in this match between Brian Pillman and Myron Reed. As you know, this one was for the MLW Middleweight Championship, and Myron has been the champion ever since then. But the match was great. It did show a lot of character with both men. Myron Reed's trying to prove that he is tired of being the guy being overlooked, over not talked about. So he demonstrated straight up he's the guy that people needs to shut up and listen and pay attention to me, because people were mostly focusing on Brian Pillman. But however, it turned out Myron Reed picked up the victory. But post match, he decided to call out a familiar name. And I'm talking about former WWE superstar Lio Rush. Now, we have seen Lio Rush participate in GCW, and then he's going to participate for the Super J Cup very soon in December. And now he's calling him out since he's coming to MLW, which is going to be great. So, basically, he's disrespecting him, saying that he's going to prove that he is the best. Well, we'll see how that goes. Now, we saw a video package with Los Parks. As you know, they've been in an intense rivalry with none other than the most dangerous faction in MLW, Contra Unit. So, Los Parks made it clear that this war between them is far from over. And however, Los Parks already made it clear that they already have a decision to make. They want to obtain the MLW World Tag Team titles, which is currently in the hold by none other than the Von Erichs, Ross, and Marshall. So there's still no word on that, but I'm excited to see when that happens. Now, as you know, Contra Unit has made it perfectly clear that the entire MLW is their domain. They conquered it, took over everything. There has been a lot of questions that were coming out about how they were able to gain access to all the venues in. But however, they were many of the MLW talent were able to reclaim the building, and Joseph Samael disappeared somewhere in a desert area. So there's still no word on that. However, like I said, the question is, how did Contra Unit obtain access to get into MLW? Well, the mystery began not too long ago. Conan, on the other hand, had a theory, or should I say, he figured it out. He obtained evidence to suggest that someone turned their backs on MLW, and his primary suspect was his rival, none other than Zelina de la Renta. It turns out she was being paid off by Joseph Samael to gain access to get in MLW. Now, when MLW found out what she did, they made it clear that they removed her licenses and all of that. So basically, it's still unclear what she's going to do, even though they will not tolerate the fact that she did something that she should not have done. So basically, Conan gets the last laugh after all. So I'm pretty happy with it. Now, as you know, every year, like any other wrestling promotion, they have an annual tournament, and this one is the Opera Cup tournament, which is very famous. Last year, they brought it back, and the winner was none other than Davey Boy Smith Jr. Ironically, the last champion was in 1948, and that cup was obtained by none other than his grandfather, the late Stu Hart. So they already announced the brackets for the Opera Cup tournament. So here are the brackets. We have Tom Lawler versus Rocky Romero representing New Japan. Laredo Kid representing AAA versus ACH. And a rematch from last year, Low Key versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. Richard Holiday versus TJP representing Impact. Now, they even already announced alternates in case of any of these wrestlers are unable to make it. Here are the alternates. They are not in order, but we'll see how that goes. First one, Gino Medina, Jordan Oliver, Hijo de LA Park, King Mo, Dominic Guarini, and Daga. So these are the alternates in case any of the current wrestlers that are in the Opera Cup tournament are unable to make it. So I hope nothing happened, but however, there could be an alternate for one particular person, and that person is none other than Richard Holiday. So he is saying he is stuck in the Caribbean. And he falsely claims it was Alicia Atout who set him up. The only reason he's there in the Caribbean is because he believes that he won this title, that it wasn't really rightfully his, that he won from it belonged to Savio Vega. He thought that he is the champion, but he didn't. The title was never on the line. But it wouldn't be surprised if someone takes that belt from him. So we'll see what happens. Now, they throw in a video package with the Von Erichs, both Ross and Marshall Von Erich. Their dad, Kevin Von Erich, explained his history with Court Bauer, who is the owner of MLW, saying that he knows his mentor, that they go way back, and he was giving fatherly advice, and that's pretty interesting to see from a family like them. Now let's jump into the main event. This is for the MLW World Heavyweight Championship between Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Jacob Fatu. This was a very good match, a very hard-hitting match, because it showed a lot. But however, the match was getting intense by the minute. But however, Davey Boy Smith obtained an injury not too long ago in the hands of Contra, where he might have hurt his back. He said he was in good physical shape, but however, it took a toll on him, and in a result, Jacob Fatu remained as the MLW World Heavyweight Champion. Now, post-match, he called out Alexander Hammerstone, and he tries to come out, and he was attacked by the Death Squad. And all of a sudden, he was attacked by a mystery person that Joseph Samael mentioned on his cryptic messages, calling himself the Black Hand. And he took him out completely. So it appears that now, because of this, Contra Union are now becoming more powerful than ever. So we'll see where they're going to go with this factor, with this new guy named Black Hand. And hopefully, if Hammerstone is fully prepared to face Jacob Fatu for the world title. So I think that's it right now. I'm very happy that MLW is back and all that. So stay tuned for upcoming videos. There will be one continuing on with the Best of the Super Juniors and the World Title by New Japan Pro Wrestling, and of course review of the Wednesday Night War. I'll be doing that too, and then I'll cover Ring of Honor, NXT, 205 Live, New Japan Strong, if there's any other events coming up. So I must bid all of you guys adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. Have a nice day. Bang.